action, and during that timeout, Randy, Garber was out there all by himself. Nobody was trying to pump him up. Nobody was talking to him at all. Hard to hold. They practiced it 1,000 times. This is for the game. Spot. The kick is up. And it is good. Knocking on the door again. Look at the fullback Johnson. He's got room. Touchdown. School football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium in Kannapolis, it's the 3A semifinal game as the A.L. Brown Wonders host the Kings Mountain Mountaineers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Woody Kane along with Steve Gant, Randy Whitley on special assignment. But Steve, all the cliches apply here. All the marbles, no tomorrow, all of those apply. But there are a lot of similarities between these two teams as they come in here.
Well, they are, Woody. Both teams earned the right to be here. It's no fluke that either team's here. They're good football teams. They come from winning traditions. Kings Mountain trying to earn more respect from their community. They go over there, they play with Crest and Shelby. Those guys get all the press. Kings Mountain is unheard of, so to speak. They're trying to win. They're on a mission. They're trying to win that, earn that respect. And tonight's the night to do it. They come over here. They got a good team. They can do anything. They can pass. They run the ball good. A lot of similarities to Kannapolis.
One of the similarities that we have found out during our research is that both of the quarterbacks for these two teams have been bashed around a little bit by the fans all season.
Well, that's true. William Kraft is a good ball player. He stepped up lately. Justin Hardin is a good backup quarterback, but a lot of controversy there. But on the other hand, the Kings Mountain squad, they got the Ash kid, Anthony Ash. He's a young player. I think he took about 15 snaps last year. A rookie. Come out here, and this is big league now. You come out here as a rookie, you've got to earn the right to play, the respect, and he's really stepped up and done a great job.
He really has. Well, tonight it definitely is for all the marbles. The Wonders are trying to go to Chapel Hill for the third time under Coach Bruce Hardin. This is the furthest Kings Mountain has ever been in the playoffs. We'll be back to talk to some of the coaches and bring you the starting lineups and the kickoff after this. Getting set for this semifinal matchup in the 3A bracket, and earlier Steve Gant had a chance to talk with a coach of the Kings Mountain Mountaineers.
Thanks, Luke. Ron Massey, head coach for Kings Mountain. First of all, welcome to Kannapolis.
Thanks, Steve. We're happy to be here and expecting a good ball game tonight.
Well, you certainly earned the right to be here. You guys played a tough schedule all year. We've kept an eye on you. We'll go home and watch Friday night football, and every time we'd watch it was like Kings Mountain had a big W up there.
Well, we struggled in the middle of the year, but our kids came on at the end, got fortunate in the draw, and had the three-team draw for 2 spots, and they were getting the second spot. And we're happy to be here. It's a new experience for Kings Mountain playing in the 4th round. And playing against a team with a great tradition and just a great atmosphere out here tonight, and I know our kids are looking forward to it.
Ron, I know it's a team effort. You guys look like you got a well-balanced ball team. You got a good passing game. You got some guys in the backfield that can carry the yard.
Well, we feel like that's been our blessing this year, is that we have sophomore Anthony Hillman come on and do a great job for us and running back, and Anthony Ash, our quarterback's improved as the years gone on. We're a young football team offensively with one senior offensively, so we feel good about the progress they've made this year, and hopefully we'll play well tonight.
You mentioned Anthony Ash, the young quarterback. A little bit of controversy toward the first of the year. Looks like he stepped up to the plate and done his job.
Yeah, he has. Been very, very happy with his progress. He's an outstanding student, outstanding young man, and he's going to develop. And before he leaves Kings Mountain, he'll raise a lot of eyebrows.
Coach, we don't know a whole lot about your team. I know you guys have looked at films. How do you feel like who does Kannapolis compare to? I know you had to compare them to somebody on the teams you played. Who would you compare them to?
Well, I think their overall speed compares favorably to Shelby. Quickness on defense. They've got kids in the second level that can really run, and the front four are just tremendously quick for big guys. Offensively with Maddox and Brown and those guys back there, that's as good a backfield we've played against all year.
Well, it's about kickoff time. We're going to let you go to work. Again, welcome to Kannapolis, and good luck out there.
Guys, we appreciate it. Hope we're a good ball game.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. As you see the fans getting set for Christmas and getting set for the ball game, Steve also had a chance to talk to the Kannapolis good luck charm. Coach Jeremy Ryan was field side, and these were his thoughts earlier tonight.
Thanks for the call with Jeremy Ryan. I tell you what, Jeremy, every time you and I talk, we're undefeated. It's an omen. Every time we talk, you win the ball game. I tell you, it's been a great year.
Let's hope that continues, and yes, it has been a great year.
Jeremy, what do you know about the Kings Mountain boys? Those guys are well balanced. They got a good passing game, got a good running game. Somewhat like Kannapolis. I've been looking at the stats, and it's almost a mirror image of the Kannapolis squad.
What I look at when I see them is big, big, and big. And let's just hope the big will fall tonight.
You know, they Mountaineers. They say Mountaineer boys are tough, but I believe they come down here. I believe Kannapolis got something for them. How do you plan? How do you defend for these teams or prepare to play this team?
Well, you watch as much film as you can. You get the kids motivated, and you get ready to go. You just prepare like a normal week.
You know, I was talking to their coach, somewhat like Kannapolis again. They had a little controversy with quarterbacks early in the year. The kid stepped up to the plate. He's done a great job. Their running game, you know, they got two kids that's well over 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards, kind of like Sean and Nick. A mirroring image. What do you do? What's the plan?
They're a pretty good team, I got to tell you that right off. And they're riding a nice little winning streak here. Basically, we have to play our game, focus on our fundamentals, and focus on the Kannapolis Wonders and go from there.
Like I said, Jeremy, you and I are 2-0. Let's keep it going.
We'll give it a shot.
Okay, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Woody, back to you.
Okay, Steve, thanks. There you see some of the banners that are ringing the stadium here at A.L. Brown. We'll be back for the kickoff, the meeting of the captains at midfield right after this. You see the Kings Mountain captains coming out to greet the Wonder captains. You've got Philip Johnson, Mark Kennedy, Willie Poore, and Desmond Miller out there. Let's go to field side now.
9 bells on the play. We got number 10, Mr. Kennedy. We have number 44, Mr. Poore. We have number 55, Mr. Miller. Number 71 is Mr. Johnson. Gentlemen, shake hands and introduce yourselves if you would. All right, guys, before I go any further, let me introduce my fellow officials. This is Mr. Richard Cotton, is my back judge. Mr. Wayne Mosier is my linesman. Mr. Keith Atkinson is my umpire. Mr. Neil Bowie is my head linesman. My name's Charlie Council. We'll be talking a lot tonight. Before we go any further, guys, the thing that we've read about 14 times, but you're glad you're here to hear it one more time, right? Step in just a little bit if you would. The NCHSAA requires officials to enforce all rules regarding unsportsmanlike conduct by players and coaches. Specifically, trash talking, taunting, baiting, demeaning celebrations, and vulgar or profane language may be penalized without warning. Fighting or other malicious conduct will result in ejection. If any coach protests a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, he or she may be ejected from the contest. That's not going to happen tonight, guys. We're going to have a heck of a game tonight. Coach has made you captains for a reason. He's got a lot of confidence in you, and so do I. All right, guys, we're going to do the coin toss right now. You're visitors, right? That's tails. That's head. Okay? I want you to call it loud enough for Mr. Atkinson and myself to hear. Are you going to do the call? All right, in the air. You ready? Call heads. It is tails. It is tails. You have won the toss. You may kick, receive, defend the goal, or defer to the second half. On the ball. On the football. Okay? Which way you want to kick it, my friend? You want to defend the scoreboard? Stand there and face me. Stand over here, gentlemen.
So the Wonders will get the ball first. The crowd standing on the home side of the field as Kannapolis gets set to take the opening possession of the State 3A semifinal game. And let's take a look at the starting lineup, Steve.
Well, the Kannapolis A.L. Brown Wonders, the offensive line is Miller, Mann, Lambert, Singleton, and Johnson. Kraft, Brown, Maddox, Cheeks, Gill, and Jenkins in the backfield. And the defensive line for the Mountaineers, Sims, Mason, Thompson, and Hooper. Roper, McLean, Thompson, Turner, Benton, Moore, and Husky.
And as the Wonders come on the field, there you see Coach Bruce Harden. Right beside him, quarterback coach Shelwyn Klutz. Nick Maddox is one of the deep backs for the Wonders. No one has joined him yet. Now Corey Maxwell moves back into that position. Maddox has been devastating on kickoff returns all season long. He has 2,600 all-purpose yards this year. And Steve, these two teams have some common opponents.
Well, they have. Kings Mountain has already beat a good Burns team 28-0. We saw the Burns team come to Kannapolis, and it was a tough battle. 17-16 Kannapolis victory. Also in the year, East Rowan beat Kannapolis, then Kings Mountain beat East Rowan. So, that's some things to consider, but you got to keep in mind, Woody, you don't know how you caught them guys, what part of the season it was in, what kind of frame of mind each ball team was in.
It really was. In the Burns game, for example, when Kings Mountain hammered them 28-0, Burns had 3 turnovers in the first half and got themselves in a big hole early and just really had not much of an opportunity to climb out of that game. Kings Mountain, a very interesting team, lots of similarities between these two squads. Both of them had to go to a draw out of a hat situation to determine their playoff seedings late in the year. For the Southwestern 3A Conference, it meant one of the good teams there, East Rutherford, stayed home. Kannapolis, on the other hand, had to go to a draw as well. They knew they were going to the playoffs. They just didn't know what seed they would be, but all that has been determined now, and we're about ready to go. Colin Goforth, number 81, the senior kicker, will boot it away here for Kings Mountain.
And we saw when they was meeting with the officials in the 50-yard line, those guys had their game faces on. They're serious about this game. They're ready to play. And they made it understood loud and clear, we want the football.
They really do. A lot of times you'll see teams defer that to the second half, but here Kannapolis wants the ball, and they will have it. Taking it, looks like Sheets up close, and he makes it out to about the 30 and is taken down at about the 34-yard line. So Kannapolis will have decent field position for their opening drive.
But it's going to take place exactly like that. A missed tackle, a busted, a guy missed a tackle. You got to hit these guys low and take them down. You can't give them that second step or a second chance to get another 2 or 3 yards, because these guys are quick, and they'll turn 2 or 3 yards into 35 or 40 and possibly a touchdown. 18
yards on the return by Jeff Sheets, and the Wonders set up. They'll send Nick Gill and Danny Jenkins down to the bottom in the backfield for the Wonders. Looks like Nick Maddox and Tron Brown. Tron Brown gets the carry, goes around the top side, and he gets maybe a yard or 2 at most. Looked like involved in the tackle down there for Kings Mountain was number 7, perhaps, David Turner, one of the defensive backs, along with a host of other Mountaineer players. The Wonders, primarily a ground team, but they will put the ball in the air. Kraft has thrown for 340 yards on the season and 6 touchdowns, but he has come on of late. Had 2 huge games against Concord to help this team get to where they are. Ivar Johnson in the game now. Pitch out goes to Maddox. Up the middle. Nice cut there. He's down to the outside. He's got some room, but he's pushed out of bounds at the last moment by Jamar Moore, a sophomore defensive back. But Maddox makes it all the way down to the 46-yard line, and it's a first down, Kannapolis.
Well, that's the speed that Rod Massey was talking about in the interview. He said the Kannapolis kids are fast, and right there, that's the Nick Maddox that we like to see. The guy carries the mail.
He really does. He's done it all this season for the Wonders. How about this for Nick Maddox, Steve? 37 total touchdowns this year, 1,900 yards on the ground.
Okay.
Ivar Johnson lines up the fullback slot this time as the Wonders are in business. Again to Maddox, up the middle, not much doing there. He is pounded right away by Mark Roper, a senior linebacker, number 3 in your picture.
Okay. Speaking of Nick Maddox, most kids would like to have that in their entire high school career.
And there's Maddox, and as we've said many times, the scary thing about him is he's only a junior, and he will be back next year to help this Wonder squad. And as we mentioned before, about a year from now, 2 years from now, he's going to be making some college coach very, very happy.
And we'll just speak of only a junior. The entire Kings Mountain squad consists of a lot of juniors and sophomores. A relatively young team. Those guys are going to make a lot of noise in the near future.
Maddox to the left side. He's got some room. Good blocking, but he's hauled down from behind. That time by Boyd Mason, number 60. Defensive lineman, and Steve, he has some size.
Yes, he does. He's a big kid. He's only a sophomore, but he's a huge kid. Also, that tackle was Keely Thompson, a junior.
That's one of the things that Bruce Harden was concerned about coming into the game, the size of this Burns squad. It's going to be one of those classic speed versus size matchup. A key third down play here for the Wonders. They've been on the ground the entire drive. Maddox goes out to a receiver slot. 3rd and 3. Up the middle is Tron Brown, and boy, I don't think he got there.
He was going to be a little bit short. He gave it a good effort, but I believe he came up short. Boyd Mason made the stop.
And there you see Brown. As he gets up, he has 1,300 yards roughly on the season. He doesn't break those 85 or 90-yard runs, but boy, he's just solid as a rock and has been all season long.
You can always count on Tron for 2 or 3 up the middle just about every time he touches the football.
So Danny Jenkins will punt. Back deep for Kings Mountain is David Turner, number 7, and number 9, Joseph Bell. He is the man for them, and the snap is over his head. Jenkins goes back. This is going to be tough. He tries to pass it, and it's dropped by Mark Kennedy. But Jenkins did a good job just to get that one away at all. He was under some heavy pressure from Kevin Young that time. The snap way over his head, and the first mistake of the game goes against the Wonders.
Well, it could have been worse. It's not a costly mistake. He picked up, fired the ball for an incomplete pass, so it goes back to the line of scrimmage.
That is definitely the key. Bruce Harden, well, you know, he hates to see something like that. He's a guy who believes in execution and minimizing your mistakes, as most coaches do, and he won't like that a bit. As we come out, Anthony Ash, who Steve told you about under center, Bell in the backfield. He moves there now, and he gets the pitch, almost drops it, but hangs on. Nick Gill chases it, but can't get him. I believe knocking him down finally over there on the far side for the Wonders. Looked like it might have been Mark Kennedy, number 10. He lined up in a receiver slot, Steve, and came from the bottom of your picture on the right side all the way around to the left. Got the pitch and very nearly put that one on the ground.
Well, I tell you what, he bobbled the ball. Looked like he had a snow cone out there, but gosh, look at the crowd. A cold night, a clear night here in Kannapolis. Football weather.
Looks like it's going to be about 3 yards for the first down for the Mountaineers as they line up. Again, Bell is in a slot, coming around this time, but not getting the pitch. It's going to be in the air, and it's Bell. A little bit too much mustard on that. The ball was behind it. Defensively there for the Wonders was LaRon Caldwell. He got a hand on it. In motion was Joe Williamson, number 44 that time. And Steve, he's the backup quarterback.
Well, he is. You know, we talked about some controversy they had. They got Anthony Ash, a young junior, not a whole lot of experience, and he's the backup. He gets a lot of calls. He gets a lot of snaps.
He really does. 3rd and 3, key play here for the Wonder defense. Ash goes back, the handoff up the middle, and he is stuffed. Sheets is there, Poor is there, and the Wonder defense will not allow a first down.
He lost a yard, would he? It was a good hit.
Boy, they were all over that play. Looked like the ball carrier that time up the middle was Anthony Hillman, their big fullback. He's only a sophomore, and he's got 1,300 yards himself.
Little rest for the Kannapolis offense. They'll come in here with fresh wheels on now, so we'll see what they can do.
Now let's see if the Kings Mountain team knows the rules. Don't kick it to Maddox. High kick, not much distance on it. It'll drop right at the 30-yard line and roll to about the 25 or the 24, where it will be down by Danny Wright, number 10, a senior receiver. So that's where the Wonders will take over. You see Kraft there, Steve, checking the plays on his wrist as he comes out. He's got the diagrams there.
What do you mention Kraft in the couple of Concord games this season? That young lad stepped up and had the best 2 games of his young football career. And if he can just turn in one of those performances tonight, this will be no contest.
Forget, he got thrust into the Bell game last year, cold off the bench when the Kannapolis quarterback went down with an injury early in that game, and has been the starter ever since. Kraft will go back. He's going to pass a rollout, and he's in trouble. He gets the ball off, but it's too high, and it's very nearly intercepted back there deep. For Kings Mountain was Jamar Moore, a sophomore. He had the ball in his hands, but it popped loose. Heavy pressure up the middle that time by Frank Hopper, a junior defensive lineman. He was all over Kraft and didn't give him much time to get that one away.
Putting Jamar Moore for the Kings Mountain team, right now he's his own worst enemy. He dropped that ball. It was a gift. It was given to him, and he dropped it. Right now he's going to be thinking about that.
So the Wonders, 2nd and 10 now. First passing attempt of the game. Incomplete. In the backfield, you've got Ivar Johnson in motion. Maddox, the solo setback. Here's the pitch. Maddox down to the sideline. Well, not the sideline, down to the left side, I should say, where he is put on the ground by Landon Benton, a junior defensive back. Not much doing for the Wonders so far in this drive. Maddox may have gotten, about 2 feet.
Frank Hopper also in on the tackle. You know, these guys, they're not just single tackling. They're piling on. It's a bunch of the guys. They fall into football. They're doing what they have to do. They're doing what got them here.
So far, key third down plays have been the story here. Kannapolis has converted one. They'll try it again here. 3 receivers. Kraft fakes the handoff to Maddox. Goes back. More pressure. He's got a man open. It's Danny Jenkins. He's to midfield where they wrestle him down. And the Wonders are in business again.
And Jenkins was wide open that time.
25-yard completion that time. Danny Jenkins in the seam. And that, Steve, is the same play we saw him use against Concord.
That's what picked Concord apart.
Jenkins gets wide open, and boy, he had all kinds of room. Wrestling him down at the end was Landon Benton, the junior, and the Wonders are at midfield.
And Woody, what that little short pass will do right there, it'll open up that defense, and then they'll hand the ball to Tron Brown and Nick Maddox, and those guys will pick them holes to death.
The snap, and we're back to, didn't see if it was Maddox or Brown. Looks like it's Tron Brown, and he picks up maybe 2 yards on the carry, right up the middle. Boy, Tron Brown, we talked about him earlier. What a steady performer he's been for the Wonders.
What a workhorse that senior is. Over 1,300 yards thus far this season. That's, again, we're talking about Nick Maddox, but don't overlook Tron Brown. Those 2 guys in the backfield have well over 4,000 yards between them.
No setbacks for the Wonders this time. Kraft back to pass. He's got time. He has a receiver, but at the last minute,
They like some flags.
yeah, the flag comes out. Interference that time, probably going to be the call on Kiyata Husky. The intended receiver downfield, I believe, was Nick Maddox, and Husky hammered him just as the ball got there.
Oh, it was obvious. There's about 8,000 or 10,000 people in the stands, and everybody saw that call. Everybody, I kept watching for flags, and sure enough, there they came.
Well, it wasn't that they didn't want to throw him. It looked like the officials were having a little trouble digging him out of their
It was
pockets.
cold out there.
Yeah, here's the pass. Now watch the contact just as the ball got there. Actually, the intended receiver that time looked like it was Paul Allen, the tight end. He's a junior.
Yodi Husky. What a football name that is.
That is. So the Wonders have yet another first down. They'll set up at the 34-yard line. And so far, Steve, the whole game's been played, even though it's early. 6:32 to go in the first quarter has been played on this end of the field.
Well, that's what wants to be played.
Now the officials say it's okay to go. Evar Johnson in the backfield, also Maddox. Johnson pulls up to the line now. Kraft has the snap, pitch to Maddox, cuts back through the middle, and wrestled down at the end of that play by Keely Thompson, a junior linebacker, number 99.
He's in alone a lot of plays. This guy follows the football, and he makes a lot of tackles.
Maddox gets credit for maybe a yard on the play, maybe not quite that much. Bring up second down and about 9.5 on the play. Maddox cuts back. He can't find room. Now he's got a seam. Look at that speed. He's to the outside and pushed out by Jamar Moore. Boy, and what a spectacular play by Maddox. It didn't turn into a big gainer, Steve, but that could easily have been a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Well, that's what we see Maddox do best. He'll reverse his field. He'll follow his blockers. There was no room on the right-hand side. He reverses his field to the left-hand side, and the kid is so fast, just one step away, and he can pop it loose and go to the end zone just on a moment's notice.
The amazing thing was there were 2 Kings Mountain defenders around him when he decided to cut back the other way, and he just put on the warp drive and outran him.
Well,
going to bring up about 3rd and 4 or 5 here for the Wonders. And Kraft is going to take a timeout. He didn't like what he saw there in the Kings Mountain defense. First timeout for the Wonders. No score in the first quarter. Back at Memorial Stadium, the Wonders facing a 3rd and 5 after the timeout. 3 receivers in the pattern for Kannapolis. Kraft fakes the handoff to Maddox, has some time, has a receiver, and the Wonders have another first down. It's Danny Jenkins. On the tackle is David Turner, a senior defensive back. But again, Randy, the Kannapolis receivers, or rather Steve, Randy's on special assignment. Kannapolis receivers have a knack for finding some room in the middle of the field.
I tell you, he was wide open again. He had to go to his knees to catch the ball, and that's automatically downs. But
a catch is a catch is a catch.
There you go. A first down is a first down.
You're not going to hate me for calling you Randy.
Well, I'm thinking about it. My Christmas list just got shorter.
3 receivers in the pattern again. Evar Johnson up the middle, and look at him pull his way through.
And Bull is correct. This guy is strong. Boyd Mason on the stop.
We saw Evar Johnson score the only touchdown of the game last week against Concord, about 11 or 14 yards right up the middle. And who would have thought that game would be a 9-0 affair?
Actually, when the field goal was kicked in the first period, who would have thought that would win the ball?
That would be enough, yeah. So Johnson picks up about 4.5 on the play. The Wonders driving just outside the 15-yard line. Johnson in motion. Maddox in the backfield. Kraft pitches to him. Maddox has some speed. He gets the corner. He turns and is taken down at the 3. On the tackle, looked like it was Jamar Moore, who is starting to have his name called more and more. He's in on a lot of plays, and the Kannapolis crowd gets into it.
About that run, a big first down on the 3-yard line.
Well, they're going to give the spot just inside the 5, actually. But still, a nice run by Nick Maddox. Picks up a first down for the Wonders. 1st and goal from just inside the 5. And again, you see evidence of the speed Nick Maddox has.
Well, that was right before William Kraft called the timeout. He saw something, went come over here and told the coach, and it paid off.
Jenkins to the low side of the picture. Top side of the picture for the Wonders. There's Tremaine Robinson, but Tron Brown straight up the middle. And what a seam he had to run through. Wonders on top 6-0. He was hit, Steve, just as he crossed the goal line by Kiata Husky, but a little too late, and the Wonders are on the board.
And we're going to mention that name.
Watch the hole. Look at that blocking. You could have run through that.
Oh, I could have. I'd still be running.
So Tron Brown, we talked about the senior leadership he brings to this team, and he puts the Kannapolis Wonders on the board. Garber back. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights. The Wonders break out on top, 7-0. 4:35 left in the first quarter. We'll be right back. Jeff Sheets set to kick off for the Wonders. Back deep for Kings Mountain, Williamson, and Bell. Now Bell, even though he's primarily a running back, does have an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown this year, so he is dangerous.
He's no rookie out there. He's a senior with over 1,500 yards for the season, 24 touchdowns.
One of the up men gets the ball. It's David Turner, and he is wrestled to the ground by Tremaine Robinson. So a little bit of a squib kick that time. 11-play, 75-yard drive for the Wonders. It chewed up 4 minutes and 39 seconds. And Steve, when the snap comes this time, there you see the scoring drive. 3 minutes and 39 seconds, actually. Tron Brown, the 5-yard touchdown run. This snap will bring only the 4th offensive play of the game for Kings Mountain.
That's what they got to do. The defense has got to step up to it.
Got a good look at Anthony Ash there. Bell in motion, but they'll go up the middle instead to the big fullback, Anthony Hillman, and he gets maybe a yard before a host of Wonders bring him to the ground. You know, Coach Bruce Harden told us early in the week, Steve, in a headliners program, even though Bell gets all the headlines, the senior with about 1,500 yards and 24 touchdowns, he said Hillman is the guy you really have to watch out for. He's only a sophomore, but Bruce Harden called him the bread and butter of this team. 5 total yards so far for Kings Mountain in the game. Bell in motion again. It's Hillman up the middle, though, and he is...
Oh, he slipped.
No, check it. It was around the end, and there's a fumble, but it looks like Kings Mountain may have it back.
They called it down. When his knee touched the ground.
It was the keeper that time by Ash. Good fake up the middle, fooled me. I thought they had Hillman, but Sheets brings him down. Here we get a look at the lineups on the other side.
The offensive line for Kings Mountain: Caldwell, Curry, Lay, Beamster, and Marshall. Ash, Bell, Hillman, Williamson, Bell, and Jones. Now these guys, we'll talk about them all night. Johnson, Poor, Linton, Allen, and Miller. Defensive line for the Wonders. Linebackers: Kennedy, Sheets, Caldwell, Gill, Madison, Harris.
motion is Bell. Keeping it is Ash. He rolls out to the bottom of your picture. Good pursuit, but a nice pass complete for a first down along the sidelines. The receiver that time looked to be number 22, Chad Jones. A lot of pressure by the Wonders, but a nice controlled roll that time by Anthony Ash. Bought himself a little time, and he fires a strike upfield. First down of the game for Kings Mountain, and they are close to midfield.
And Jeff Sheets, we're going to mention that name a lot. It seems like he's on every tackle.
So Kings Mountain has a little something going here. Looks like Ash is changing the play and audible at the line of scrimmage. He goes back, short drop, got some pressure, chasing him and wrestling him down is Philip Johnson. And that kid ran, boy, I did it again. Steve makes big play after big play after big play.
Philip Johnson was all over him. He just didn't give him any room. The guy wanted to throw the ball, but Philip Johnson was all over it. Never just gave him a chance to get a receiver open.
There was a short drop. He wanted to go to the top of your picture, left side of the field, but a couple of the Kannapolis linemen stuck their hands in the air that forced him to hold it a little bit longer. And as a result, Kings Mountain has second down and 20 coming up here. In motion is Williamson. Up the middle is the call to Hillman. Bringing him down is Jeff Sheets. But Hillman picked up some positive yardage as Sheets grabbed a hold of him and went along for the ride.
And what he, like Bruce was saying, what a workhorse he is. You know, he just up the middle for about 5, 6, 7 yards. He's hard to take down. He runs hard. Just a sophomore.
And he's got some good size to him as well. Third and long for Kings Mountain. Ash back to pass. Short drop. Into the seam on a little slant, but out in front of the intended receiver. It's Chad Jones. And the ball bounces away. That's going to bring up fourth down in a punting situation. Going back is Nick Maddox for the Wonders. And back to punt, number 67. Looks like Andy Lee back there. And we saw with Burns a huge kicker as well. And he gets some leg into the ball. What a boot. Maddox will field it. Gets away from one man. He's trying to get the sidelines. Flag is down. Maddox up the seam. He's to the sidelines and out of bounds at the 33, but 2 flags are down.
Looked like perhaps a clip back on about the 15-yard line.
And generally that's what you see on kick returns. There's a good look at Nick. The officials discussing it right now, and here comes the signal. Going to be a clip against the Wonders, and that will bring it back. A fine return by Maddox, but it'll bring up poor field position for Kannapolis here. First penalty of the game, I believe, against either team. Well, we had one earlier on the interference call that helped keep a Kannapolis drive alive. This will back the Wonders all the way up to the 9-yard line to start their drive with 1:24 to go in the first quarter. They lost 11 yards on that penalty. They had a 15-yarder in their favor on the interference call earlier that led to a touchdown. You got Nick Gill and Danny Jenkins down at the bottom of your picture for the Wonders. Backfield is Brown and Maddox. Split backs as Kraft goes under center. Keep in mind it's a new center as Seyfried had to sit out a game after being ejected last week. Brown around the right side finds a little room and picks up a couple of yards before he's pushed out of bounds. So far, Steve, it's been a game of ball control, and Kannapolis has been able to keep it for long stretches.
Well, they have, Woody. And you mentioned it's been a game of field position. Right now, this is the deepest that Kannapolis has been back. They got the score this time. They got the furthest to go. But then, like I said, that's just a hill for about to find a team like that.
Maddox comes out of the game. The backfield now, Evar Johnson and Tron Brown. 2nd and 6 for the Wonders. Kraft will go throw to Brown. He's around the end, but grabbing him and just refusing to let go is Frank Hopper, the junior defensive lineman. He got a big handful of Tron's shirt and just pulled him down.
Well, he was refusing to let go, and Tron was refusing to go down. Tron was fixing to just carry him the distance, and it finally went down. He's so strong, these guys.
Tron may have gotten a couple on the play, but it's going to bring up about 2nd and 4 for Kannapolis as Maddox comes back into the game. Evar Johnson goes out. Tron Brown comes out. Third and about 4. Three receivers for the Wonders. Fake to Maddox. Kraft back to pass. Has a man open. It's Tremaine Robinson. He's got a first down.
That was a big play. Anytime you get a first down in a drive like it, keeps the drive going. Coyote Husky, that name is, we're going to hear it so many times. On the tackle.
You see Kraft, the fake to Maddox, the rollout, good protection, and finding some room. Tremaine Robinson for the Wonders. So Kraft looks pretty sharp with the passing so far this game, Steve, as he has been late in the season.
He really has. We didn't look for Kraft to pass a lot, but when he got his confidence up that he could do it, he's really picked the defense apart.
3 out of 4 for 44 yards for Kraft. Maddox just makes his own room, but flags go down all over the place. He was in a lot of trouble about 5 yards deep in the backfield, but was able to turn that one into something positive. It's going to be a hold against the Wonders, and that one will come back. Second penalty against Kannapolis. Boy, but again, even though there was a hold on that play, Nick Maddox is fun to watch.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I guess if you have to get a penalty, if you have to back up, the best place to do it, the best time to do it is on first down.
Man, I'm telling you, they had him dead to rights about 4 or 5 yards in the backfield, and he just was able to wriggle out of it and make something out of nothing that time, but it's going to all be for naught because of a hold, and looks like it's going to bring up about 20 yards to go for Kannapolis to get the first down. Kraft may be asking for another timeout. He's walking toward the sidelines. Nope, the end of the quarter. 7-0 our score as time expires in the first. The Wonders have the ball. They're on top. Back here at Memorial Stadium, William Kraft 3 out of 4 for 44 yards passing. Maddox 6 carries for 43 yards. Tron Brown 7 carries for 16 yards, but Brown has the lone touchdown of the game. Wonders facing 1st and 20. Kraft back. He'll throw it. Looking, he has time and just misses Sheets. He had a defender all over him, and another flag comes out. Hanging all over him that time was Coyote Husky, the defensive back, and let's see if interference is the call.
It looked like it could be the call. Again, a late flag.
The officials making the signal now, and it is. It's going to be against Kings Mountain, so the Wonders will get that yardage back that they just lost. And you see Kraft there with the band on his arm. He's got some plays diagrammed on there that he's checking out.
That's his cheat sheet.
There you see Plummer's perch, Steve, and it hadn't been that full in a while.
I tell you what, those guys got to be cold when you're enjoying this football game.
Got to give the Wonders an automatic first down. The Wonder offense is clicking. They had to punt on their opening possession. A bad snap gave Kings Mountain good field position, but the defense has been outstanding for Kannapolis in this game so far. 3 receivers, split backs for the Wonders. Kraft fakes the handoff. He's looking for a receiver, goes upfield, and just underthrows Nick Maddox, who was coming from the middle, but could not get there in time.
Well, the pass was just a little bit short. Another foot and a half, and it had been right in the gut of Nick Maddox, and he'd have turned around and then went down the field.
Again, Kraft gets some good time, good protection from his line. The rollout bought him a few more seconds. Finally, he may have had to throw that one a little bit earlier than he wanted to, but not much. It looked like he may have thrown it off his back foot instead of being able to step into it that time to get something on it to get it upfield. 2nd and 10 for the Wonders. Split backs again, Brown and Maddox, 3 receivers. Handoff up the middle to Maddox. Nothing doing there. Several Kings Mountain players all over him immediately, including again Boyd Mason. Mason, a lot of size coming into the game.
There's a lot of size on the field. All those Kings Mountain kids are huge.
Mason came into the year listed at 6 feet tall, 265 pounds, but he may be bigger than that by now. Kannapolis has converted 3 out of 4 third down plays. They've got a big one here. In the eye. Kraft makes the handoff to Brown. Rolls out again. Finds some time, and he throws a wounded duck. It's out of bounds. Boy, he was fortunate that that one wasn't picked off. It looked like it slipped out of his hands just as he let it go, and it really just kind of waffled through the air.
It was about 5 yards out of the playing field. No chance to catch it, and also no chance for an interception.
Fortunately, that one was over by the sidelines instead of toward the middle of the field. Now, here we go, Steve. This was an adventure last time.
Last time they punted, the center snapped the ball at the punter's head.
Danny Jenkins set the punt. Back deep is David Turner and Joseph Bell. Here's the snap. It's over his head again. Jenkins runs back to the 2-yard line, and looks like Kings Mountain is going to have a touchdown, or at least a safety. It is a touchdown. 7-6 the score. And Steve, how huge now is the ejection of Nick Seyfried last week?
It's made a big difference. 2 long snaps, and 2 times it's been over the punter's head. This time for 6 points. Merry Christmas.
Look, here's the snap over his head. Jenkins can't pick it up. Pounding him down and getting the ball, wrestling it away there is T.J. McClain, the linebacker, and he's been a big factor in this team's success all year long. So the extra point attempt now could tie the game. The holder, Chad Jones. The kicker is Goforth, Colin Goforth, the senior. Wonders have a couple of blocks this year. They'll come after this one. Oh, a little bit of motion. The center, as a matter of fact, was the guy who moved that time. Looks like it's going to be John Bennett, number 72. Either he or 62 was the man who moved. 62 is Richie Wells, a junior. But this is going to make it a little bit longer to tie the game. And what a costly mistake for the Wonders. And you know, Steve, they came in knowing that Seyfried was not going to be available. You know they worked on this all week long, but maybe it's just, you know, big game jitters or a little too much adrenaline or what have you.
You know, you got to give these guys credit. This is a big game, biggest game of their year.
Kick is up, and it is good. We are tied at 7. Goforth had plenty of room on that one. So a mistake proves costly for the Wonders. We'll bring you the kickoff after this. 10:56 to go in a half. We're tied at 7. Kickoff coming from Goforth. And it looks like he's going to kick it very short. He's got about a 2-step motion on that kick. Heads it toward the sidelines, and they kick it at Jeff Sheets again. He's at the 25, and he will go down at about the 28 or so before a host of Kings Mountain players pound him into the turf.
It looked like the entire team. They just about 6 or 7 of them just piled on to him, thinking down.
Well, it looks like they know the cardinal rule when you play Kannapolis: don't kick it to Maddox.
Well, you know, it don't take long to learn that lesson.
Watch a couple of films, and you'll learn that one very quickly. So the Wonders have had trouble on long snaps. No problem with the exchange at center so far with William Kraft, but the long snaps have been an adventure so far.
It's been costly so far.
Wonders line up in the eye. Gill at the bottom, Jenkins at the top, split receivers. Kraft back, hands it to Brown. He's down at the bottom. He's got some room. And he will go down at about the 37-yard line after a pickup of 7 or 8 for the Wonders.
Jamar Moore was on the tackle. It's like you said, we'll hear his name more and more.
A lot of room that time for Tron Brown on the right side of that Kannapolis offensive line. Wonders come up facing 2nd and 2. Into the I formation again. Ebar Johnson and Nick Maddox. Gill to the bottom of the picture. the top. The handoff to Maddox. Up to the top. Not much room there. He's going to be close to a first down, however. We might have our first measurement of the game depending on the spot. No, they're not going to give him but about a yard at best. So they're going to be, looks like about a foot short. Coach Harden gives the instructions to William Kraft as he comes out. Maddox stays into the game along with Evar Johnson. Kings Mountain fans beginning to get into the game now. They start standing up and waving some rally towels over on their side.
I'm going to call this one Woody Tron Brown up the middle.
Well, Tron Brown's not in the game, but Maddox is a good bet. Kraft back. It's Maddox up the gut, and he's got the first down at the 40. Again, 3 Kings Mountain players collectively put him on the ground. Now here comes Tron Brown.
There you go.
Either or.
Well, now I can call one. I'm 0 for 1, so
There you go. Maddox comes out. Brown replaces him. The Wonder defense, Steve, you got to say, has really played outstanding football.
They've played outstanding football all year. They've only allowed 8.2 points per game and pitched 5 shutouts.
Pitch to Brown to the right side. He's got some room, and he's up to about the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play before he's pushed out of bounds. The center now for the Wonders looks to be number 52, Chad Lambert, a 5'8", 175-pound sophomore, and I believe that is Nick Seyfried, the center, who was ejected last week at the very end of their 9-0 win over Concord. He's normally the snapper. You know him, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Maddox, 9 carries, 47 yards. Brown, 9 carries for 28 yards. This time it'll be Maddox. Stutter stepping at the line, and he picks up maybe a couple. The ball looked like it was almost pulled loose, Steve.
Well, they're going after the ball. They want a big fumble right now. They're going to do that. That's what they trained to do. Make the tackle, but go after the ball as well.
Well, Kannapolis got the ball with almost 11 minutes on the clock here in the second quarter. We're now ticking just under 8 minutes, so the one thing the Wonders have been able to do is control the ball. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 3. Gill to the bottom, Jenkins to the top. In the backfield, Tron Brown and Evar Johnson in the eye. Kraft to Brown. Penetration by the Kings Mountain defense, and he has nothing doing. On the tackle, looked like it was Keeley Thompson.
And Mark Roper also on the tackle.
So the Wonders face another 4th down situation. Now let's see, we mentioned earlier that the center was Chad Lambert. Now let's see who the long snapper is. Looks like it is Ricky Mann, the senior. Long count by the Wonders. Here's the snap. It's a good one. Jenkins has it. And he gets away a high, wobbly kick, fielded by Bell at the 30. And he is put on the ground right away by Tony McKinney, number 21, with some help from Jason Bridges, or check it, it's Paul Allen, number 39, helping out on that tackle. Kind of a dangerous place to field the ball with Kannapolis defenders all around, but Bell believing he needs to make something happen for his team. Kings Mountain will take over at the 29 with 6:51 to go in the half. 4 receivers for Kings Mountain. In motion is Williamson. He gets the handoff to the right side. Couple of Wonders there. Jeff Sheets is one. They lift him up and pound him on the ground. Mark Kennedy dove in there late along with Rayvar Harris. And I'm telling you, Williamson, he just got a ride that time.
They just reached down and picked him up. Couldn't take him down, so they just picked him up and set him down.
Williamson, a sophomore. He's the backup. Watch this. You see 44 in motion. Here's Sheets, along with Paul Allen, looks like. And here comes Rayvar Harris and Mark Kennedy to put him on the ground.
Take them legs off the ground, you lose your drive. You have no drive, so that's exactly what he done.
Picked up of about 1.5 or 2, and this will be up the middle. Hillman, the sophomore. And he's out to just about the 38 or 39 yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and very short, as a matter of fact.
It looked like a lot of confusion in the backfield of Kings Mountain that time. I'm sure it was designed play.
Well, they want you to be confused. That's the idea. 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions for Kings Mountain. As a matter of fact, I think they only have 1 first down in the game. They picked that one up on a pass play earlier. It was Ash to Jones back in the first quarter. 3rd and short. Wonder defense. 8 men in the box. Ash keeps it. He goes around the end. The pitch to Bell. Maddox is all over it. It takes him out of bounds, but I think Bell got the first down. A lot of Wonder players at home on defense where they needed to be, but just a short distance to go to make that one happen for Kings Mountain. And they pick up just their 2nd first down of the game, Steve, and with just over 5 minutes to go in the half, that's a testament to the Kannapolis defense.
Oh, it is. And again, we can't stress how strong they've been. They've only allowed 8.2 points per game all year and 5 shutouts. That's amazing right there with the caliber of teams they've played.
In motion is Williamson. Up the middle is Hillman. Several Wonders. No, Ash still has it. He's around the end. A great fake, and wrestling him out is LaRon Caldwell. Looked like the ball may have come loose toward the end of that play. But another great fake by Ash as he takes it around the right side and picks up, about 6. Bruce Harton looking on as we've got 4:53, 4:52 to go in the first half. Tie game.
And Ash stayed to the sidelines that time and was getting some kind of coaching from Ron Massey on the sideline, so probably a new player or something's bringing in.
Speaking of on the sidelines, Ricky Mann, the senior for Kannapolis, is practicing that long snap. 2nd and 4. This time it is Hillman up the middle, and he pulls his way to a first down.
You see right there, Woody Wise got about 1,300, 1,400 yards for the year.
Just a nice bit of blocking up front by the Kings Mountain offensive line, and they have some size there, Steve. A couple of guys in the 265 neighborhood, one guy over 300 pounds. And boy, they can really play smash mouth.
They got a pretty stout offensive group out there. Those kids are averaging over 28 points a game. That's 4 touchdowns.
Long snap out of the shotgun. Ash back to throw. He's got time. He's got a receiver. He's at the 40. 35, 30, still working his way downfield and pushed out of bounds. No, he goes all the way down to the 15-yard line or so before he is pushed out. It's Kendrick Bell, and he and Ash have hooked up on several long touchdown passes this season. They haven't been the deep throws, Steve, but they turn a short pass into a big gainer very effectively.
Well, they're getting the confidence level up right now. They seem to move the ball a whole lot better.
Watch the play again. Out of the shotgun, Ash finds Bell. And good blocking downfield by the other Bell, Joseph. And you see the Wonder pursuit catching up. LaRon Caldwell misses him, but he finally steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 from that point with 4 minutes to go.
And Ash fired that ball with authority. Even timeout for Kannapolis.
We'll be back, tied at 7. Cheerleaders hoping to inspire their defense again. So far in the game, Kings Mountain has rushed for 29 yards, Kannapolis 50, but keep in mind they had that bad snap on the punt that would have put them around the 80-yard range in rushing. Had that not happened, both teams just over 40 yards in passing so far. Ash, the pitch to Bell. He goes left. He has some room. Chasing him is Maddox, and he's into the end zone, or is he? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Kings Mountain. Great job of blocking and sealing that one off to the outside as Kings Mountain pulls out on top 13-7.
Well, they found something that's inspired them. They moved the ball real well over the last series of downs. They the passes, the running, they're doing it all right. They're doing what got them here.
Back for the kick is Colin Goforth, the senior. Bell with a 15-yard touchdown. The snap. It gets loose. Coming back is Kennedy. Goforth is there as well, but wrapping it up for the Wonders. Looks like it's going to be Ryan Kraft, number 26. So a bad snap has hurt Kannapolis twice. This time it hurts Kings Mountain. And we those games where that could be a deciding factor. Watch the snap. It was a little bit low, and it got past Chad Jones, the holder, and then we're off and running. So the Wonders will go back in kick receiving formation, and if the early trend holds, expect Jeff Sheets to get the ball again. Just inside 4 minutes to go. Kings Mountain on top 13-7. They scored when Kannapolis had a snap over the punter Danny Jenkins' head, then on a 15-yard run by Bell. The Wonders have a 5-yard touchdown run by Tron Brown.
Right now, the clock's not a factor. We've seen Kannapolis go down the field and score so many times, usually in a matter of seconds.
Maddox standing back there saying, boy, I hope they kick it to me this time, but I'm sure that Coach Massey has told Goforth not to do that. Short stride, and again, it goes to the up man. Looks like he is across the 30, and I believe the receiver that time may have been Ryan Kraft. Maybe 25 was the number, but at any rate, the Wonders had the ball at the 32-yard line. Kraft and company come out. Ivar Johnson, the fullback, comes out. Maddox goes to the sidelines as Tron Brown comes out. Both teams fairly even in offensive numbers. There you see the scoring drive, Steve.
7 plays, 71 yards, 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Bell with a 14-yard run to complete it.
So the Wonders, 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the half, trailing by 6. Up the middle to Brown. He gets maybe a yard before the Kings Mountain defense throws him back. Led up the middle that time by a guy we've called several times, Keely Thompson, the linebacker, the junior. And a host of others. Now Brown comes out, Maddox comes in. They run fresh legs at you all night long. Wonders into the eye. 3 receivers. Fake to Maddox, fake to Gill. Kraft will roll. He's got pressure. He throws it away because his receivers were covered. Good coverage downfield on Nick Maddox. He was hounded by Mark Roper that time, and Kraft just had to get rid of it as Kings Mountain got some heavy pressure on him. 3 straight incompletions for William Kraft.
So what the Kings Mountain's done their homework. They know Nick Maddox, when he gets the ball, he's dangerous. They're not going to let him get the ball. They're going to do everything they can do to cover him.
Well, that's a good plan. 3rd and long for the Wonders. Johnson comes out. Des Miller comes out. He's the Shrine Bowler, you remember. Jenkins and Tremaine Robinson to the bottom. Looks like Nick Gill to the top. Maddox is the lone setback. Kraft fakes it to him and rolls again. He's got a man. It's Jenkins for the first down. On the tackle is Jamar Moore, but Jenkins again finds that soft spot in the middle of the Kings Mountain coverage.
3 straight incompletes and then a big completion, so
14 yards on the pass, Kraft to Jenkins. And Kraft, to me, Steve, looks more comfortable passing toward the middle of the field than he does the sidelines.
Well, and things like that, when he does complete a pass, that's when you build his confidence, is to build the whole team's confidence. They're going to rally around him. They're going to win this ball game.
2 minutes, 57 seconds to go. Jenkins, 3 catches for 47 yards, and all 3 of them have resulted in a first down. That's large. Wonders, as we say, trailing by 6, just inside 3 minutes to go. They've got the ball at the 47-yard line. And this is, I don't know what the holdup is here, taking a long time.
Kraft was counting his players.
He may.
To the sideline.
The officials are telling him to start the clock, and you see the play clock running there. I don't know what the holdup was. I know they had to move the chains, but it seemed like there was an awful long delay before the clock got started again. 1 timeout remaining for the Wonders. All 3 yet to go for Kings Mountain. They're still trying to get things situated, and they take a timeout. Ivar Johnson was trying to run out on the field. They hollered at him to come back, and suddenly all the Wonders start signaling timeout. only 2 timeouts, and they still have 1 to go. 1st and 10 for the Wonders.
Well, what are you watching the shot clock, the time clock in the end zone? They only had 6 seconds, and the guys hadn't got to the line of scrimmage yet, so it was a smart timeout.
Kraft is back. He'll roll again. He looks downfield. Still has time. Throws to Sheets, and there's a flag. Another interference call against Kings Mountain. 3rd time tonight. And I believe it's the 3rd time on the same guy.
Coyote Husky, we mentioned his name a lot.
Boy, and Kraft, Steve, he looks so comfortable rolling out towards his right. Watch him here. He's just kind of out on a Sunday afternoon stroll. All kinds of time to pick out his receiver. Finally fires it, and you see there Husky and the flag coming in.
Yeah, he was on him before the ball got there.
He was trying to reach Jeff Sheets downfield, but yet another 1st down for the Wonders. They're driving. 2.5 minutes to go in the half.
We got King Hep to notice Keely Thompson on the Kings Mountain team. Got them bright yellow socks. Have you checked that out?
No, I haven't, but I see him now. 3 penalties, 45 yards for Kings Mountain, and I believe all of them are interference penalties. Kraft will throw again. He's got time. He goes deep downfield. Maddox on the fly. He is in the end zone. Touchdown! And that, my friends, is speed.
And we've seen them do that several times.
Nick Maddox, if you blink, he'll run by you.
Well, that ball was just completely thrown over his head. He caught up to it.
That looks similar to the play that they put on Concord at the end of the 1st half in that game. Good throw downfield, led Maddox perfectly. The defender falls down, but Maddox had 2 steps on him anyway. Touchdown Wonders. The game is tied, and now here's a big extra point for Garver. You recall he was the hero in the Burns game. He also kicked a field goal that helped beat Concord last week. Now he'll try and give the Wonders the lead. The kick is up, and it is good. Wonders take a 14-13 lead. 2 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the half. The Wonders behind Nick Maddox and William Kraft, who has suddenly gotten red hot, take the lead 14-13. They will kick off to Bell, one of the deep backs, and looks like the other could be Lamar Adams. Check it. Instead, it'll be Joe Williamson, and Williamson has it. He's at the 20, the 25, and the Wonders pile on in there, but Williamson keeps his feet going and gets out to the 30.
Well, he didn't want to go down. He had that drive going. He backed up a host of Wonders about 3 or 4 yards.
What a strike, though, that last time, Steve, by William Kraft. That was right on the money. Nick Maddox in full stride. He didn't have to wait on the ball, didn't have to look back over his shoulder. He reached out, and there it was.
I'll tell you, 4 plays, 68 yards, 1 minute and 29 seconds, 37 yards, touchdown pass from Kraft to Maddox. How many times have we seen that?
And they zip down the field behind Kraft's arm on that drive. Now Kings Mountain has 2:17 to see if they can answer. In motion is Williamson. Up the middle to Bell instead. Wrapping him up, though, is Mark Kennedy and Nick Gill. He may have gained a foot, if that.
But it's a game of momentum swing. We saw Kings Mountain have the momentum, take the lead. Got Kannapolis has roared right back. They got the confidence built back up. They've got the momentum on their side. With Rod Massey on the sideline. Not a happy camper at this moment.
And Coach Bruce Harden told us that he came out of Fayetteville 71st, and they were a power for a long time in high school football, so you know he can get the job done. He's done it here at Kings Mountain. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. Ash back to pass. He's got a receiver missing the tackle. Well, I guess he did get enough of him to bring down Chad Jones after a pickup of about 5.
And Anthony Ash throws the ball hard. He throws strikes and he throws bullets.
He does have a gun, but as we mentioned, he got a lot of heat from the fans in the Kings Mountain area early in the season, sort of like William Kraft did here for the Wonders. But just like Kraft has done, Ash has come up huge late in the season. As a matter of fact, he carried the team last week when they were down by 2 touchdowns. Up the middle is going to be the fullback Hillman, and he is stopped for no gain. Several Wonders there.
Rasheed Robinson, well, I tell you, that's another big name on this squad.
So the Wonders will get the ball back with inside a minute to go. 51 seconds, as a matter of fact, and there is a whole lot of punter.
Andy Lee. Oh, he's a huge lad.
offensive lineman. Maddox is back deep. Third punt of the game for the Mountaineers. Kannapolis has 10 men at the line of scrimmage. The snap is short. It's a fake. Ash has it. The pass over the middle to Bell. He's got it at the 50, the 45. Missing the tackle is Harris. Maddox the last man to beat, and Nick wrestles him down at the 25-yard line, they say. I think he stepped out a little bit earlier than that, the official is ruling. Actually, it's going to be at the 28, so a 38-yard play gives them excellent field position, but not a lot of time to go. As soon as they spot the chains, the clock will move. Keep in mind, Kings Mountain has 3 timeouts remaining. Chains are in place. The officials haven't given the signal yet to start the clock. Kings Mountain comes to the line of scrimmage. Oh, he went out of bounds. That's the story. They won't stop the clock. They won't start the clock until the snap. Ash from the gun. He's back, looking downfield. Upfield and chasing him out of the pocket, but Ash gets down to about the 21 or 22-yard line, but some good heat up the middle from the Wonders to force him to the outside.
Out of bounds again to stop the clock with 12 ticks left in the half.
Trying to see who that was coming up the middle for the Wonders. Might have been Paul Allen. Second and 6, but the bigger story right now is the time remaining. 12 seconds left on the clock. Ash from the shotgun again. Bell the setback. He'll give it to Bell. Up the middle. And he's down at the 21. Mark Kennedy wrestles him down. 6 ticks left on the clock, and Kings Mountain will burn a timeout. That one was just a hope to keep catch Kannapolis napping. There you see the vital numbers for you there. Kannapolis up by 1. 6 seconds remaining on the clock, and Kings Mountain takes a timeout. If we get past this game, we will have headliners for you Wednesday night, and that would be a state championship edition, Steve.
We'll be going to Chapel Hill on Friday.
There you see Coach Whiteman. There's Plummer's Perch. Everybody is standing here.
Buster and his whole gang. There's headliners Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Live. And Randy Whitley should be back from special assignment by then. 7th play coming up in this drive for Kings Mountain. They'll have to try and go into the end zone here. They'll get 1 play, maybe 2 shots at it, depending on how quickly this one develops. Instead, they're going for the field goal. Back is Goforth. Keep in mind on the extra point, a bad snap, a low snap to the holder, Chad Jones, cost them an extra point that has put them behind. And a little bit of motion on the line. Kings Mountain may have a penalty here that'll push them further back. This would be a 39-yard field goal from this position, and it is going to be against Kings Mountain. They'll back them up 5 yards, which would make it about a 43 or a 44-yard field goal, and I see Ash coming back out.
We saw Ash will kick 2 field goals from the 45-yard line, so it can be done.
I think the longest number I saw for Goforth on a field goal this year, and some of the numbers I looked at earlier, was about 35 to 38 yards. But we know he's got some legs.
They changed their mind. They're not going to do it.
That pushed him out of range. Ash is back. Short drop over the middle, batted in the air, intercepted by the Wonders. Philip Johnson's got it. He's rumbling downfield. He's at the 35, the 40. He's still going. He's at the 35, the 30, the 25. Philip Johnson will go all the way.
How about that? A 10-point turnaround.
We talked about big plays, and he made one there. 73-yard interception return for Philip Johnson, the sockless Wonder.
I'll tell you what, that could very well take the wind out of their sails. Watch this.
Watch it again. It's batted down. Let's see who gets it. Didn't see which one of the Wonders tapped it initially, but Philip Johnson says, it's mine, and we're going the other way. And look at him outrun guys. Look at this. You got defensive backs trying to chase him down, and they can't do it.
I'll tell you what, when it came out, hero list gets longer and longer.
Man, I'm telling you what. We talked about Philip Johnson making big plays every time we see him. That may be the biggest.
That is his biggest.
Garver will set up for the extra point. The time has expired. They'll go to the locker rooms after this kick. The snap, the spot, the kick is up, and it is through the uprights. Kannapolis takes a 21-13 lead. What a play. Back at Memorial Stadium after a dramatic end of the first half puts the Wonders on top 21-13, and let's take a look at some stats.
Well, there we'll see rushing yards for Hale Brown 51, Kings Mountain 50, passing yards 92, 84, pretty even so far. Total yards 143 to 134, first down 7 for Hale Brown, 5 for Kings Mountain. Passes 9 attempts, 5 completes, no interceptions for Kings Mountain, 7 attempts, 4 complete with 1 big interception. Turnovers 1 each, and penalty yards right now is the story. 2 for Canaples for 21 yards, and 4 big penalties for Kings Mountain. The Kings Mountain have been hurt and plagued by turnovers all year. They lost 3 games early in the season due to a lot of turnovers. 75 yards penalty and 1 loss.
Now, that was a win, but they won ugly earlier in the year, but had a whole lot of penalties. They had one game this year, Steve, where they had over 200 yards in penalties.
Early when they played Kings Mountain, they had 75 yards called against them. The next game they played, they had 113 yards against them. And like you say, with the one particular game, 208 yards against them. A lot of turnovers in that game as well.
Sheets tees it up to kick off. Some individual numbers for you. Kraft, 92 yards passing and a touchdown. Ash, 84 yards passing and an interception. It was a huge one. Philip Johnson returns at 73 yards for a score. We'll give you some more individual numbers in a moment. The kid goes to the sidelines. Coming up with it is Williamson, and the Wonders drag him down at the 16-yard line. Some of the individual numbers we have for you. Nick Maddox, 10 carries, 50 yards. Tron Brown, 11 carries for 27 yards. You've also got Bell, 5 carries for 26 yards for Kings Mountain. Hillman, 6 carries for 23 yards. Bell is averaging, Steve, 5.2 yards per carry, but the Kings Mountain offense didn't really get untracked until that last drive, and then it turned into disaster for them. They line it up again here, down 8. The handoff will go to Hillman, and boy, several Wonders, including Paul Allen. Looks like Rayvar Harris was in on it. Sheets was in there. Drag him down. Also looks like in on the play that time for the Wonders was Rashad Robinson.
When those guys meet a wall, they really meet a wall.
He still gained about 4 on the play, maybe 5. In motion is Williamson. Instead, they go to Hillman. No, Ash on the pitch out to the far side. Around the end is Williamson, and he picks up the first down.
Boy, that particular play has worked well for them. Every time he pitches out to Williamson, he goes around the sideline and picks up 6 or 8 or 10 yards, and seems like it's been for a first down a whole lot of times.
And some of the numbers I read earlier in the year, or about earlier in the year doing some research, I don't recall a game where Williamson had this many carries. He's getting a lot of them tonight. A lot of those in-motion pitches. Bell, the lone setback. He'll get the pitch. He goes left. Allen swipes at his legs and misses. Bell with the cut. He's back toward the middle. Maddox almost pulls it loose. It is loose now. But they're going to say he was down. Nick Maddox was within an eyelash of getting that one away.
I agree with the fans out there. I believe that was a little premature call. I don't know if he was down or not.
Maybe we can take a look again as they regroup here. One of the Wonders moving a little slowly now. There looks like it's Paul Allen. You see Nick Gill. He was the guy who came up with the ball, but the officials ruled that he was down. A nice gainer for Bell. It's going to be a 9-yarder. Look here. Nice move to get by Allen. He swipes at his legs. Good block there. Here's Maddox, and look at there. He almost gets it away, but I think he was probably down on that. It's awful close, but at any rate,
it's questionable.
It's going to be a 2nd and short for Kings Mountain. Bell goes in motion. Instead, Ash will hang on. He goes deep downfield, and it's way out of everybody's range. Looked like he was trying to hit Chad Jones downfield. You had Rayvar Harris on the coverage for the Wonders.
Well, there was no effort at all. Anthony Ash throws the ball about 40 yards in the air. Don't look like even Cox.
He's got a gun, no question. He's been relying on a short drop a lot on his passes tonight, but that was costly on the play where he was real close to the line of scrimmage at the end of the first half. One of the Wonders batted it in the air, and Philip Johnson rumbled down the sidelines. 1 out of 5 passing. There's a little jump at the line. and that will be against, I think, Rashad Robinson, number 54, who jumped a little bit early that time for the Wonders, crossed into the neutral zone.
Well, that's going to give them the first down, so that's a big penalty for the Wonders.
It will indeed give Kings Mountain the first down at the 44-yard line.
And we saw Whiteman on the sideline.
The defensive coach, and he had his Wonders playing very well, except for that late drive in the first half. It turned out in Kannapolis' favor, but that was the sharpest Kings Mountain had looked offensively all night long. In motion is Williamson. He gets the pitch. He goes right. He's got room, and he gains about 5 yards before Sheets and Paul Allen combine on the tackle.
And again, that pitch-up play to the right side, Woody, that's about 5 yards for Kings Mountain. It's working well for them.
Kings Mountain has come out here in the second half, and they have a nice drive going. 9:40 left to go in the third quarter. Bell goes in motion. Ash will hand up the middle to the big fullback Hillman, and he fights his way for another first down. And Kings Mountain looks very sharp again offensively, Steve, right out of the gate.
Well, Coach Ron Massey went into the halftime break, and he told these guys, hey, guys, this is it. You're getting your backs against the wall. It's now or never. We played too hard to get here, and he's inspiring.
First and 10 for Kings Mountain at the Kannapolis 43. In motion is Williamson. It's Bell up the middle instead, and what a tackle! Breaking through the line was Philip Johnson, and he got help from Nick Gill. Philip Johnson, number 71 there, with yet another big play. And he's not as excited as you normally see him after a big play. Usually, he's jumping up and down and all over the place.
Hey, Nick Gill's fun to watch. We're going to see him back another year here at Kannapolis, just a junior.
And that one goes for a 1-yard loss. So Kings Mountain will have 2nd and 11 here as they set up. Ash under center. Williamson in motion. It's to Bell. He goes left. Good block up front. Bell still going. Kennedy tries to get him and knocks him out of bounds at about the... Looks like they're going to spot it at the 31-yard line. But a good block downfield, Steve, on that play. I think it was number 61, Julius Curry, with a great block downfield to help spring Bell for big yardage on that play.
But it was a big yardage. It was good for a first down, and they got the drive going. They're doing exactly what they did late in the second quarter.
And that Curry kid, Steve, who made that block, he is a load. Bell 4 carries for 2 yards or less. Ash rolls out, has a man downfield, but he overthrows Hillman, and he dives out of bounds and skids for about 5 yards after he hits the turf.
And there's a guy on the sideline with some short sleeve breeches. Does he not know how cold he is?
Hillman has a couple of carries for 2 yards or less in the game. So the Wonder defense, with the exception of a couple of plays, has been solid pretty much all night long. Julius Curry, we talked about earlier, is 260 pounds.
This is a big series for the Kannapolis defense. It's second and about 10 yards to go, second 11.
In motion is Bell. Up the middle goes Hillman, and 2 Wonders hit him, but he's going to pick up about 7 before he's brought down. Looked like it was Kennedy and Gill combining on the stop that time.
It's going to make it about 3rd and 4th. This is going to be a big third down play for Kings Mountain, a big defensive set for Kannapolis.
1 for 5 on third down conversions tonight for Kings Mountain. This is a big one. This was similar to the position of the field they were when Kannapolis got the huge interception. The Wonder fans on their feet. So are the Kings Mountain fans. In motion goes Williamson. Ash has it. He cuts up, breaks the tackle, still on his feet, and the Wonders get him down. That's going to be very close depending on the spot. Nice fake on the pitch there by Ash before he cut it upfield.
It depends on where they spot the forward progress. He looked like he might have made some forward progress and stepped back a yard or so.
This one may require a measurement. I believe it will. This may be the first appearance of the chain gang. It is. The officials take their own time out to bring the chain gang out, looks like. Here they come. Let's see how close. It's going to be very close. And they stretched the chains, and he didn't get it, Steve.
Well, that's about, what, 4 inches out there?
Something like that, but at any rate, he didn't get it. Key moment here, do you go or not? There's Coach Whiteman.
Oh, you got to go. You're killing by 8. You're within the 30-yard line. I see no option. You have to go for it.
Ash has 5 carries for just 2 yards on the night, but those yards he got there were very big. He almost got across. Kannapolis sealed that one up very well. The fake pitch got it by 1 man, but 2 more Wonders were waiting to bring him down. 7:32 to go in the 3rd quarter. Kannapolis up by 8. Again, the fans on both sides to their feet. The lone setback for Kings Mountain is Hillman. But you'll likely see motion from either Williamson, 44, or Bell, number 9. Ash may keep it himself here and try to dive across. He does. Boy, and he waved the ball around that time, Steve, trying to stretch it across, and that's dangerous, but he gets the first down. So Kings Mountain keeps the drive alive, and it's really a first down they had to have. Had Kannapolis been able to stop him there, that would have been just a crushing blow to Kings Mountain's hopes on the night. I know there's still a lot of time left, but after driving as far as they did, to be denied at this end of the field when they were that close would have been a big blow to their chances.
So right now they are controlling the ball. They used about 6 minutes.
Ash keeps it. He cuts it up. Bringing him down is Kennedy. And Sheets helped out as well on that tackle. Ash now looks more prone to keep the ball himself and fake the pitch to Bell, which he's been doing all night. He's been throwing it instead of faking it, but now he's trying to draw the defenders off as we go inside 7 to go in the 3rd quarter. 10th play of the drive for Kings Mountain. They've got the ball at the 14-yard line. 2 receivers split wide. In motion again is Bell. Ash up the middle to Hillman. He's got all kinds of room, and he will score.
Touchdown.
Nick Maddox still on the ground. He's not gotten up yet. Maddox may be hurt. He gets up now very slowly. That may have been just disappointment rather than an injury.
A little hurt pride, perhaps.
But Hillman into the end zone. The sophomore has over 1,300 yards rushing this season. Now, Steve, a big decision time
for
Ron Massey. Look at that. He's just running over guys. There's some good blocking downfield by Williamson to help him get in the end zone.
His own man, number 44, slid him down more than anybody.
A timeout's been called on the field. I think Kings Mountain took it. They're going to try and decide whether to go for 2 or not. They trail by 2 now because of a missed extra point. We'll be back to see what they decide after this. Well, the decision has been made, and Kings Mountain will go for 2. Fans on their feet again on both sides. The seats aren't being used much here in the second half. They've got 1 man split way to the top. It's Kendrick Bell. Now a man in motion. He will likely be eligible. They go to that side. It's Bell. He's up the middle and into the end zone. We've got a tie game.
That was a huge play. That was Kings Mountain's biggest play of the night.
Bell simply had a lot of beef in front of him to get into the end zone. 21-21, our score. 6:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Back at Memorial Stadium, Goforth will tee it up and likely kick it short again. Let's look at that scoring drive, Steve. Some of the numbers on that fairly impressive as they chewed up a lot of clock. 10 plays, 84 yards. They ate up 5 minutes and 26 seconds. And this will be the first time Kannapolis has had the ball in the second half. Maxwell and Maddox, the deep backs. Goforth will not kick it to him. It's a short one. It's going to be Danny Jenkins at the 30. He's at the 35. Fights his way to about the 37 or 38-yard line. Flags fly now. Maybe some extracurriculars at the end of that play. There you see Bruce Harden on the sidelines along with Coach Bob Jacobs. Let's see what the penalty's all about. It's going to be a face mask against Kings Mountain. Another big penalty, Steve.
Big penalty. That's a big call. That's a big 15-yarder right there.
That may put Kannapolis across midfield.
That's the way to start off the offensive drive right there. You know, you get 15 yards as a gift. Kannapolis is going to be well rested there. Their offensive team has not been on the field so far in the second half.
One thing we might mention is that Kings Mountain has very few players, if any, going both ways, while Kannapolis has several players who are on offense and defense, and that might be a factor toward the end of the game. But Kannapolis should have some fresh legs in the backfield now. It's going to be Tron Brown and Ivar Johnson. Gill to the top of your picture, split wide. Jenkins to the bottom. Kraft will hand off to Brown. Up the middle. Big hole. He's got about 5. I'm telling you, that Kannapolis offensive line doing the job up the middle for Tron Brown tonight. Maddox is doing the bulk of his work around the ends. But when Tron Brown goes up the middle, the Wonder line is really responding. 12 carries, 31 yards for Tron Brown in the game. Now Maddox comes in, split backs. Brown stays in, Maddox is in now. You've still got Gill and Jenkins as the receivers. Kraft, pitch to Maddox. Around the right side, he's got room. And he's still on his feet, down inside the 30-yard line. Great job to keep his feet, Steve, after one of the Kings Mountain players hit him.
Well, that's just a good athlete. A lot of balance, a lot of speed.
He picked up probably 4 or 5 more yards by putting his hand down there to keep him from getting a knee on the ground. 13 yards on the carry for Maddox. And the Wonders come out looking sharp on offense. 2 plays, and they're inside the Kings Mountain 30. What a great ball game, as it should be in the state semifinals. From the eye, they go to Brown, up the middle. Not much doing there. He may have gotten 2 at the most. The winner goes to Chapel Hill. The loser has their fine season come to an end. Kannapolis, as we said earlier, trying to go to Chapel Hill for the 3rd time under Coach Bruce Arden. They're 1-1 there. They'd like to make that 2-1. Going to bring up 2nd and about 9.5. Kraft back. It's Ivar Johnson up the middle. Big hole. He may rumble for the first down. He's going to be just short. But that, Steve, was a play we saw work very well against Concord last week.
Well, you know, they kid on Tron Brown and kid on Maddox. When you give the ball to some fresh legs, it's a whole new look for their defense, and it seems to be working right now.
Ivar Johnson got pretty good size. 2 carries, 13 yards. He's 214 pounds. And understand from Randy that Ivar has a fine singing voice.
Is that right?
Yeah. In the eye. To Maddox, up the middle. And he is wrapped up and brought down by Boyd Mason, a name we've said frequently tonight.
Be very close to a first down. We'll see what the spot's going to look like.
I think he got it. They're unpiling, and Maddox gets up with a help from one of his big offensive linemen, and he did get the first down. 4:17 now to go in the 3rd. Fresh legs come in. Maddox goes to the sidelines. Tron Brown into the game now. Gill to the top of the picture. Jenkins to the bottom. Into the eye. Johnson, the up back. They go to Tron Brown up the gut again, and he goes for about 4. And this, Steve, is similar to what we saw Kannapolis do against Burns. They had some trouble getting around the ends late in the game. They started pounding ahead on the right side of that offensive line, and they found a lot of success there.
Well, they definitely got the tools to do that. They've yet to attempt a pass in the second half.
Going to bring up 2nd and 7 or 8. Maddox back in. Kraft, the pitch to Maddox. He goes left. Not much doing there. He is hammered. Getting there first looked to be Michael Thompson, number 74. He had help from Mark Roper.
Like Eric Caldwell. Not Eric Caldwell, but he called it Mark Roper, number 3.
And that is going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Wonders. I don't know what kind of range that Garver, the Kannapolis kicker, has, but the Wonders are concerned about getting a first down. 3 receivers. Kraft goes back, fakes to Maddox. He's got time. He's got a man. It's Jenkins again for another huge first down. 4 catches for Jenkins. All of them have resulted in big first downs.
And William Kraft is perfect for the second half. 1 for 1.
Jenkins looks to be his favorite receiver, Steve. Every time he needs a big play, he goes to number 42. Look at the time here. Great job of the offensive line. And Jenkins just has a knack for finding room over the middle.
I tell you what, I'm surprised if we didn't see a flag on that. Although he caught the ball, the defender was all over him.
Lone setback now is Tron Brown. It'll be Brown up the middle. He goes to about the 3, I believe, before he's brought down. And a couple of the Kings Mountain players a little bit slow to get up. Evar Johnson coming back in now. Maddox was a receiver on that play as a decoy, no doubt, as Brown went up the middle. So you're going to have Evar Johnson and Tron Brown in the backfield on this play.
I've made mention of Keely Thompson's yellow stockings. Every time I see him, I think it's a flag on the field.
10th play of the drive after Kings Mountain reeled off a 10-play drive to score. It's going to be Brown to the right side, and he stopped just short. He's in there somewhere, trust us. There he is. Looks like he's going to be at about, boy, the 6-inch line maybe?
It's real close.
It's going to be a little further than that. It's going to be about a full yard. 3rd and goal. Evar Johnson, the up back. Nick Maddox all the way back. Jenkins down low. Evar goes in motion. Kraft will keep it himself and go into the end zone. Touchdown Wonders. First carry of the game for William Kraft, and it was a big one.
A huge carry for Kraft. Called his own number. Done what he had to do.
So that puts the Wonders up by 6. Garver comes on to attempt his 4th extra point of the game. Here's Kraft, and what a hole, Steve.
I'm going to tell you, he could have went 100 yards on that play.
Here's Garver, Justin Harden, the holder.
And we saw Garver in action. He's been the man of the hour for 2 weeks in a row.
The snap, the spot, the kick is blocked.
It was a high snap, Woody, but guy.
Breaking through to get it, Steve, was T.J. McClain, number 33, so that could be big. Inside a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Kannapolis on top by 6. We'll tee it up again for the Wonders. And Steve, these special teams kicks have been an adventure tonight.
I really haven't seen a true kick. They're kicking it out of bounds a lot, or it looks like high pop-up. They're definitely not kicking it to the people they're not supposed to kick it to.
Getting it up is going to be Williamson. He's at the 25, still on his feet, and goes out to about the 28-yard line. Short kick that time, but he had a nice run. 10-play drive, 47 yards for the Wonders, chewed up 5.5 minutes. And Kraft, a 1-yard run. The extra point was blocked by McClain. So Kings Mountain gets it back. 52 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And this, Steve, is a huge stand for the Kannapolis defense.
The defense will have to turn it up a notch or so right here.
In motion is Bell. Ash will instead give it to Williamson around the right side. Desmond Miller, along with Paul Allen, bring him down. Well, both teams have come out and just moved their way down the field very quickly. We got an injured player for the Wonders. Looks like it's Desmond Miller with a cramp.
Well, Woody, actually, it wasn't very quickly. Both teams have scored with their drives of the half. But if you look at the clock, there's only 35 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, 2 drives. It maybe not quickly, but crisply might be a better choice of words. The offenses moved down the field very efficiently. We got a timeout while the trainers attend to Desmond Miller. We'll be right back. Desmond Miller up and off the field under his own power. He jogged off. The senior Shrine Bowl selection is trying to work out a cramp on the sidelines now. 2nd and 6 for Kings Mountain. Bell in motion. Up the middle they go to Hillman. and he's going to be near a first down. Looks like LaRon Caldwell got him down. And he did indeed get the first down.
Another big hole in the defensive line of Kannapolis.
Well, they may have attacked where Desmond Miller would have been. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Short drop. Ash to throw. Breaking through is Robinson. Ash will pass. He's got a man. It's Bell. And, boy, the ball is loose. Let's see who gets it. They're going to say he was down, and that may end the quarter. So about a 4-yard pickup on a scramble and pass by Ash to Bell. And that's where we stand. 12 more minutes to decide who goes to Chapel Hill. Second and 5 for the Mountaineers as we come back. They've got the ball at the 44-yard line. Fans on their feet on both sides again as the intensity builds in this game. Bell in motion. He gets the pitch. Going left. Good blocking out there. He's got the first down. He's got more. He's out of bounds. Over there to put him out looked like Tremaine Robinson and Nick Gill, but some outstanding blocking upfield by Kings Mountain to turn that one into a nice gain for the Mountaineers. The way this one's going, Steve, it may come down to who's got it last.
They could do it.
Bell in motion again. Instead, it's going to be Williamson up the middle. He's got a big hole. Robinson can't get it. He may score. Into the end zone is Williamson, and we're tied.
Big hole indeed.
A little bit of a misdirection that time. Williamson, 5 carries, 66 yards. Bell, 9 carries for 56, and Hillman, 11 carries for 61. Watch Bell. They fake the pitch to him, come back up the middle with Williamson. Good blocking here, and he just runs through the Kannapolis defense. They couldn't catch him. He's got good speed. Now, a tremendous extra point coming up here for Goforth. Jones the holder. And
Some movement.
flags are down. Let's see what the call is going to be. That's the longest run of the night for either team. Not counting Philip Johnson's rumble on the interception. But he doesn't get to do that very much. That's his Sports Center highlight of his life right there. All right, now we're ready. The snap. It gets through. Again, a bad snap proves costly.
There's 2 points.
My goodness, Steve.
Can you not advance the ball?
No, not on the extra point. You don't advance it. If it had been a field goal, they could have, but on the extra point, you don't get the opportunity to advance. Bad snaps have been the story of this game for both teams. We are tied at 27 with 11:44 to go. Kings Mountain answers the Kannapolis touchdown with a 4-play, 72-yard drive that took a minute 17. Williamson on the touchdown, a 47-yard run. But again, Steve, the snaps are proving costly for both teams.
Well, they are, Woody. We talked about that at the opening of the game. Both of these teams are like a mirror image of each other, and they're proving that tonight. 5 bad snaps have been 5 big plays in this ball game.
There's the flag. The kickoff goes out of bounds. Maxwell almost grabbed it, and I think somebody hollered at him at the last minute, let it go, and it did go out of bounds. So the Wonders are going to get some pretty good field position here as they come out to open their drive.
So we saw Bruce Harding talking some words of encouragement to Evard Johnson.
There you see Philip Johnson in the middle of your picture, and he fills up the screen. Well, what a huge game he's had.
Well, he's a big man on campus tonight.
What a huge postseason he's had. Maddox in the backfield along with Evard Johnson. Down to the bottom of your picture for the Wonders. Looks like Blair Harden, number 85. left under center. The snap, pitch to Maddox, down to the left side. Good block by Ivar Johnson. Another good block. Maddox is off to the races. He's got one man to beat. He is going to score! Nick Maddox, touchdown! Puts the Wonders back on top.
That's the Nick Maddox I've been looking for.
And Steve, I'm telling you what, when we look at this replay, you'll see Ivar Johnson put one guy out of the play. He'll go downfield and put another guy out of the play, and that sprung Nick Maddox. Two great blocks by one guy. Watch 34. Bang, bang, and Maddox is gone.
So right here's another
Good block downfield by Harden. The coach's son with a good block downfield.
That's a big play.
33-27 our score. Garver back for the extra point. Justin Harden with the hold. The snap a little low, and it is through, but just barely.
It counts.
Good job by Justin Harden with a snap. That was a little low. Maddox 132 yards on the night, and that gives the Wonders the lead. 11:33 to go in the game. Sheets will kick it off. The Wonders have taken a 7-point lead.
And Woody, before that play, Nick Maddox had carried the ball 14 times for a total of 67 yards. On one carry, 65 yards alone for a total of 132 yards.
Sheets kicks it deep. Looks like it might go out of bounds. It does. Going to be a penalty, just like we had on the other drive, or the other kick, I should say, for Kings Mountain. And they will have good field position as well, just like Kannapolis did for their drive. Even though you can't really call it a drive, it was one play, and Maddox was in the end zone.
Well, that's the kind of drives you like to see.
Ivar Johnson on that play, he got in the way of one of the guys. Looked like he had hit him a little harder than that, but then upfield, he pushed and shoved his way through another guy, and Maddox had all the room he needed.
And Justin Harden made a big block downfield, got in the way.
No, it wasn't Justin.
It wasn't Justin.
It was
Blair Harden. Sorry, Blair Harden.
Well, they're twins.
There you go.
All right, here we go. The Wonders trying to find a way to stop the Kings Mountain offense. It's going to be Williamson to the right, and nothing doing there. He's going to get credit for about a yard, but the Wonders had that one diagnosed pretty well. Clark Kennedy was among the first players there, but I think getting him down in the end was Desmond Miller.
Boy, that's what it's going to take. The Wonders have got to get in there and make some key stops for no gain and fire up that defense right now. Right now we're having a shootout, and I'll tell you, when the Wonders defense wakes up, it's a big good night, Irene.
Bell in motion again. Ash up the middle to Hillman, and he goes for about 3, maybe. .40 to go in the game. Ash gets the instructions from the sideline. Coach Whiteman shouts the instructions to his defense.
About third down and about 3 yards to go. Another huge third down play. Both sides of the football.
Kings Mountain has not been very successful on third down tonight. Short drop again for Ash. He's got a man over the middle. It's Williamson for a first down. Just a nice little slant toward the middle of the field. Williamson with about a 2-step drop. And Williamson held on because that ball was bouncing around between his arms and very nearly came loose. 2 Wonders were all around him. But nice execution by the Mountaineers. First down at the Kannapolis 45. In motion is Williamson. Instead, it's Bell. Oh, and what a tackle by Nick Gill. He explodes off the line and puts Bell on his back.
Position and spiral. That's about a 3 or maybe a 4-yard loss. That's what the defense has been looking for.
That is called staying home on defense. All kind of misdirection on that play, Steve. You want to get the defense not knowing who's got the ball or which way it's going, but Nick Gill, a good job to stay home and be right where he needed to be when he had the opportunity. 9.5 to go. Williamson in motion. Instead, Ash keeps it. He goes around the end. The pitch out, and Allen drags him down. Williamson had nowhere to go. Good penetration by about 5 Kannapolis
couple yard losses.
And it's going to bring up third and a bunch. About 14 to be precise.
I'd say about third in a taxi ride.
That's close enough. Inside 9 minutes to go now. The Kannapolis players exhorting their fans to get on their feet. They respond. Key play in the game here. Wonder defense is set. Ash from the gun. 3 receivers to the top. He's got a man open, and he's going to be short of the first down. The pass was complete across the middle. I believe the receiver was Bell, Kendrick Bell, number 11. And he is still down.
We're just going to bring up 4th and short. And when I say short, I'm saying about 3 yards. Number 11 is limping off the field. That's Kendrick Bell, just caught the pass.
He hobbles his way to the sidelines. He has been perhaps Ash's favorite receiver all year long. He's going to bring up 4th and 3. The Mountaineers will go.
Well, time's not a factor.
They have a good history tonight. 2 out of 2 on 4th down conversions. They'll try it again here. They need 3. In motion is Williamson. He gets the pitch. And great pursuit in the backfield, but they could not quite get him in time. The ball springs loose, but let's see if they ruled him down. Bell comes up with it. I didn't see which Wonder it was that sprung into the backfield. And now this is going to bring up a dilemma for the officials. Was he down? Where was the ball if he was down? And they're going to gather around and talk about it. Take a look at it again. Now let's see who breaks through here for the Wonders. Right there, it looks like it was Desmond Miller.
There's a fumble.
Sheets got him down. Bell picked it up, but let's see if the officials ruled him down or not. Fine play by Desmond Miller. Even though he didn't make the tackle, Steve, he slowed Williamson down enough to let the rest of the defense catch up. And that is a Shrine Bowl type play there.
Guarantee you.
The officials still huddling over the play. The question is, was it a fumble?
Well, the Kannapolis guys are pointing in their favor, and you know Kings Mountain's going to point in their favor.
That never does any good.
No.
The officials don't pay a lick of attention to that. Looks like they're going to say first down Kings Mountain the way the players are reacting. Let's see. They might say it was a fumble and it was advanced by Bell. They're going to come over and explain it to Bruce Harden now. You see Whiteman, the defensive coach there in a green jacket, getting the explanation as well. I think what they're going to say, Steve, is it was a fumble and Bell advanced it for the first down.
Well,
And you see Coach Harden and Coach Whiteman not too thrilled about that, and you hear the fans, listen to this.
well, he did advance it, but was he knocked down when the fumble came out?
That's what I'm saying. They're ruling that it was a fumble, and Bell advanced it, I believe, for the first down. 3 fumbles tonight for Kings Mountain. They've gotten all of them back. First and 10. 8 minutes to go in the game. Wonders on top by a touchdown. Back to pass is Ash. He's got a man. It's Bell. It pops loose. Pass was just a tick behind him. Bell couldn't grab it. And that was nearly an interception for the Wonders, Steve. That ball stayed in the air a while.
It could have been an interception. You know, he was going after the man going to make the tackle. He didn't see the ball. It was catchable. Unfortunately, he didn't see it, so the ball fell incomplete.
Ash has had a short drop virtually all night long. 2-3 steps max, except when he goes into the shotgun.
And second down, the ball spotted on the 32-yard line.
In motion is Bell. Instead, it will be Hillman up the middle. He's going to go for about 6 or 7. Ash is 7 of 13 passing, 113 yards, 1 interception. That was huge at the end of the first half. No touchdown passes.
How many times have we said a big third down play?
A lot. And here's another one. You can go ahead and use it again. 7.5 minutes to go. 3rd and 6. Hillman the setback. Bell goes in motion. Ash keeps it, goes around the end. The pursuit coming. They can't get him. He's got the first down. Flag is down, however. We may have a block in the back on Kings Mountain. Looked to me like Philip Johnson was out there in pursuit and somebody may have hit him in the back. Let's see. It is going to be a clip against Kings Mountain.
Big penalty. We've talked about it all night.
And we talked earlier, Steve, about the early season penalty problems for this Kings Mountain team. They've got to be piling up a ton of penalty yardage now. So this will bring up 3rd and very long. Now they'll mark it from where the infraction took place. It's going to push them all the way back to the 37 or 38 yard line, which will be 3rd and about 15 now. 7:13 to go. Hillman the setback. Short drop again for Ash. Up the middle with heavy pursuit is Miller. He's got it. Desmond Miller. No, check it. It's not Desmond Miller. It's Rashad Robinson. My apologies. Great play for Rashad. Want to make sure we get the kid's name right. He just exploded up the middle that time, Steve, and was all over Ash before he could take a deep breath. Watch it again. Look here. And just would not let him go. Great play by Rashad Robinson. 6'1", 215-pound junior.
Got confusion on the field.
They are going to take a timeout. Kings Mountain punt was upcoming. Maybe they didn't have enough bodies on the field.
Woody, don't forget, we saw a punt situation earlier, and it was a fake.
I think I only see 10 players out there. Well, they'll get it straightened out, and we'll be right back with a Kings Mountain punt after this. Mountaineers have run a fake out of punt formation tonight, but 3rd and 15 is a much different animal. The snap, the kick. Back deep is Maddox, and he will let it go. It is down at the 1 or 2 yard line. What a great play downfield for Kings Mountain. Looks like downing the ball is going to be Danny Wright, number 10, a sophomore. So the Wonders will have very poor field position. 6:56 to go, but the most important number is they have a 7-point lead. Looks like the ball's going to be spotted at about the 2 yard line. Nice high kick that time. Nick Maddox, there you see the numbers on him. 15 carries, 132 yards. The biggest of the night, that 65-yard touchdown run that put the Wonders on top. Great special teams play by Kings Mountain to pin Kannapolis deep. Kraft will keep it up the middle. That's the play that got a touchdown earlier, and here it gives the Wonders a little breathing room. Coming up on 6.5 minutes to go, and Steve, Kannapolis probably starting to cast an eye toward the clock now.
Well, they do. They want to use up as much as they possibly can. They want to amount of drive, a time-consuming drive, move the ball upfield, and just run off 6 minutes of the clock.
Evar Johnson comes off. The backfield now has Tron Brown. Maddox goes out into a receiver slot. You also got Jenkins and Gill at receivers. Kraft up the middle again. Well, the Wonders are bringing 3 receivers, trying to spread the defense and leave a seam for Kraft to get short yardage up the middle, and he darn near got a first down on that play. Got to bring up 3rd and short. Now Tron Brown is coming out of the game. Evar Johnson back in. Wonders in the eye. Nick Gill to the bottom. Jenkins to the top. The pitch to Maddox. He's got room. He's got a first down, I believe. Looked like that play was designed to go more toward the outside, Steve. But Nick saw a seam and cut it up to get the first down. He didn't need a huge gainer there. 3 straight 3rd down conversions for Kannapolis.
And that's the name of the game. That's what they want right now. They want first downs.
Keep the clock running. If you get toward the sidelines, fall down before you get out of bounds.
There you go.
High formation again. Tron Brown, the deep back. He gets the carry. He's got room. He's toward the sidelines, and he does fall down before he gets out of bounds.
The clock remains running.
You could see, Steve, that he probably could have fought for a couple of extra yards, but being a senior and knowing what it's all about, he simply went down.
There's the clock. At the 5-minute mark. Well, it don't take but just 2 or 3, maybe 4 first downs to use up 5 minutes on the clock.
Now, Kings Mountain has used one timeout early when they had a decision to make about that two-point conversion, so they only have 2 remaining. 3 wide receivers into the pattern for Kannapolis. Watch for Kraft up the middle again. There he goes, and that may be another Wonder first down. Boy, nice bit of play calling here by the Wonder coaches, Steve. Kings Mountain has to respect all those receivers out there with the accuracy that Kraft has displayed tonight. When they put that many out in the pattern, they have to give up some room in the middle, and Kraft is making them pay for it.
Well, he's calling his number, and that time right there, it wasn't a big gainer, but it was the first down. That's what he's looking for, 2.5, maybe 3 yards. And time is a factor, 4 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock.
Maddox gets pounded in the backfield. First player there looked like it was maybe Boyd Mason. Kraft, 4 carries, 11 yards, 1 TD, and a first down to his credit. So Maddox lost maybe 2 yards on that play, but right now the clock is the most important thing in the stadium for the Wonders. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Going to be 2nd and 12. Evar Johnson and Tron Brown, the backs. It'll be Brown, and he's stopped after a short gain. Looked like on the tackle that time was Mark Roper, number 3. And that will bring up a 3rd and about 9 for the Wonders. Well, with 3 minutes to go, Steve, do you put it in the air, or do you run it up the middle, take some more time off the clock, and turn the game over to your defense?
Well, right now the biggest thing Kannapolis wants is a first down, so he's got to do what play he thinks will get you there.
Jenkins to the top, Gill to the bottom, Maddox in the backfield with Johnson. It's going to be a pitch to Maddox. Not much room, but he makes some room. Great block by Johnson to spring Maddox for the first down. Evar Johnson with a tremendous block to spring Nick Maddox after Kings Mountain had gotten some penetration by Jamar Moore into the backfield. Johnson saw him coming and put him down.
And Woody, how big is that first down? It gets Kannapolis 4 more snaps on the ball. Look at the clock. 2 minutes.
Watch this. Watch 34 right here. Pow. He put Moore on his back. And he had some good penetration and had a chance to bottle Nick Maddox up, and Evar Johnson was having none of it.
And Nick reached out there and stiff-armed one of the guys and picked up about 6 more yards out of it.
149 yards on the night for Nick Maddox.
Again, it was another big first down of the ball game. It gives him 4 more snaps to eat up for that clock.
Another pitch to Maddox again, around the left again, and he's close to another first down. Pushing him out of bounds, looked like it was Keeley Thompson, the linebacker, the junior. But Maddox starting to chew up chunks of yardage now for the Wonders. Looks like he's going to be about 1.5 yards short of the first down. Kings Mountain beginning to feel their season slipping away as they can't find a way to stop the Wonders. 9th play of the drive for Kannapolis. Jenkins to the bottom, Gill to the top. Up the middle is Kraft, he's got room, and there's another first down. Boy, this is just got to be gut-wrenching if you're a Kings Mountain faithful on the far sidelines, thinking you've just got to stop them, but they just can't keep Kannapolis from getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll help us right now. Right now, they're going to start going after the ball. These guys have got to hang on to the ball. Kings Mountain's going to start going after the ball more aggressive than they have been. They desperately need Kannapolis to fumble. Kannapolis, on the other hand, needs to hang on to the football.
4 touchdowns on their drives in the second half. Around the end is Maddox. He's got room. He's got speed, and he is gone. Touchdown Wonders, and that may do it. Nick Maddox, that will definitely put him over 200 yards in the game, and that just Wonders are suddenly a little bit closer to Chapel Hill. Evar Johnson, a great block again. Maddox to the outside here. Watch him cut it back up, Steve. Is he quick or what?
Seven just gave up. He couldn't catch him speed. David Turner was the defensive player that time. He just gave up. Said, I can't catch you. You're a road runner.
Here comes Garver for the extra point to try and put Kannapolis up by 14. High snap, and it's blocked. Breaking through, looked like Landon Benton, the defensive back, a junior, but the Wonders have 40 points, and that may be enough with 1:56 to go. Well, Steve, last week, 9 total points in the game. Tonight, we've got 67 on the board.
It's amazing. The offensive team has really come to play football tonight.
Sheets with the kick. It's deep. Bell has it at the 10. He drops it, picks it up at the 15. And a swarm of Kannapolis players miss him. Finally, dragging him down looks to be Michael Keene, number 18.
He run about 35 yards. There's a score drive. 10 plays, 98 yards, 5 minutes. The big run, Maddox, 49-yard touchdown run. Long extra point. That was a high snap again. The snaps, that's been a big factor.
The most impressive thing about that drive, Steve, was the yardage. 98 yards. You had to think Kings Mountain felt pretty good about their chances once they got them bottled up at the 2.
Kannapolis was just chugging along. All they were looking for was first downs.
Yeah.
And boom, Big Maddox, look at this. The Kings Mountain crowd is going home.
Ash from the gun. Has a man out there. It's Bell, but he can't come up with the ball. Putting some good pressure on Ash that time was Philip Johnson and Rashad Robinson. Robinson, you recall, number 54, came up with perhaps the biggest play of the night when Kings Mountain had driven into Kannapolis territory on their last possession. He broke through and put some heavy pressure on Ash to kill that drive. 1:43 to go. 2nd and 10 for Kings Mountain. And there's the bell.
Here's the bell ringing. You know, and hats off to Kings Mountain. We had a great year. 10-4. They go to 10-5 tonight. But we talked about it. These guys have played in the shadows of some powerhouses over in their home county. Crest and Shelby. They're getting all the ink.
Boy, and you talked about a gun, Steve. You saw some evidence of it there. Chad Jones, that one just zipped between his hands. He never really had a chance.
4 straight incomplete passes. But these guys, this football team is young, Woody. You're going to hear a Kings Mountain name a lot in the very near future.
Nick Maddox on the night, Steve, just tremendous. 21 carries, 207 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The touchdown runs, 65 and 49 yards.
And what you said, the last touchdown that he scampered in a while ago for about 45, 50 yards was probably the biggest touchdown of his high school career.
1:38 to go. Ash. Oh, pressure from Robinson. Bell has it now, but he's going to be short. The ball is loose. What a pop by Gill. My goodness. That was like a train wreck. He absolutely leveled Bell. He looked like Charlie Brown in the pitcher's mound out there with bits of his clothes flying off.
Nick Gill was so excited about that hit, about that.
Watch this. I'm telling you, great pressure here from Robinson again. Bell gets it, but watch Nick Gill right here. Pow.
Look at that. He was so excited about the hit, he didn't realize the guy had fumbled. The fumble would have been right in his hands if he didn't look it up. But boy, he done his job.
4th and 10. Kings Mountain will punt it away. Instead, they take a timeout. 52 seconds to go. Wonders by 13. In punt formation, 67 Andy Lee. The Wonders aren't buying it. Nobody is back in receiving position. LaRon Caldwell is probably 20 yards deep downfield, but they are going to kick it away. It's a high kick, and the Wonders will simply let it go, and it will be down at the 47-yard line. 40 seconds to go. Kannapolis will likely take one snap, take a knee, and that will do it. Kings Mountain, I believe, has one more timeout they can burn. But Bruce Harden, again, has come up with a fantastic game plan in the second half. The Wonder offense, and in particular Nick Maddox, simply unstoppable. Looks like they're going to go back to Chapel Hill for the third time. Justin Harden into the game now at quarterback, number 16.
Another solid performance by William Kraft.
Yeah. Nice performance by Kraft. Not only with the passing, Steve, but those little quarterback keepers up the middle were huge.
For big first downs.
Harden will likely go back and take a knee. No, he'll go forward a little and get down. 35, 34 seconds to go. Kings Mountain, will they stop it? Doesn't look like it. 26, 25 seconds. The Wonders may not have to take another snap. The play clock is off. I don't think they're going to have to take another snap. 13 seconds, 10 seconds. And now, that's going to do it. They're not going to have to snap the ball. They don't have to go to the line of scrimmage. And let's just watch this celebration. Third time under Coach Bruce Harden, the A.L. Brown Wonders will head to Chapel Hill to play for a state championship. They defeat Kings Mountain 40-27 tonight. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, Steve Gant will interview the winning coach at Fieldside. Kannapolis wins it by 13. Steve Gant is fieldside with a happy winning coach.
Harden is lovely wife, Brenda. Tell you what, Bruce, congratulations. What a game.
Well, thank you. I thought our players really played their heart out tonight, both halves. And it's tough. A lot of our kids going both ways, and they platooning, but they hung in there. We were a little stiff and maybe a little flat when we came out in the second half, but once they get the energy flowing and get a feel for it, they came back and played really hard.
Well, that last big play of the first half where Philip Johnson got the interception and rumbled down to the end and scored a touchdown, that had the momentum swing, a big boost for your team.
It did. It couldn't have fallen into a quicker lineman's hand. I tell you what, I was just going down the sidelines behind Philip, and I said, thank goodness I'll make them run those 300s after practice. So it kind of paid off.
Bruce, they made some adjustments. They come back out the second half. They were fired up. They moved the ball well on you. They carried the ball and scored 2 times on you. What was going on in your mind? Was you making any changes?
Not really. They're an explosive offense. They're hard to contain. You can't sit there and go after one guy. You have to play position, make sure you don't get upfield, and just play hard and do your reads and everything. And they are a very explosive offense. They're tough.
They are tough. You know, we talked about Nick Maddox all year, Tron Brown all year, but Nick seemed to just take control of things late in the fourth quarter.
I tell you what, that was just, it's hard to believe. He just played defense, ran punts, and back there protecting the punter. And then when we really need that big play, he and Tron both just a big spark. So they're just great young men, great players.
Well, it's been a great year. It's not quite over. We're going to the hill, baby.
This is as exciting as it can get. I mean, you know, this is what coaching, this is why people go into coaching, to be around the quality of young people as we have here. So they're a lot of fun.
Bruce, you make it happen on the field. Got to mention the fans. Boy, these fans are solid behind you. They were in the game all night. I don't think they sat down all night long.
They sure didn't sound like it. I could certainly hear them from where I was, you know, and it was just sounded beautiful. And it was, I believe it was one of the best high school football games anyone could witness or be a part of.
Bruce, again, congratulations. We'll see you on Headliners, and we'll see you at the Hill.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, Woody, back to you.
Okay, Steve, there you see Nick Maddox, the star of the game without a doubt. 207 yards on the contest, 2 touchdowns rushing. He also had a big 37-yard reception as well in the contest. Now let's look at some final numbers. Kannapolis 247 on the ground. Nick Maddox, of course, a big part of that, as we said. The stats relatively even all the way down. You look there, first downs, passing, total yardage fairly even. 8 of 17 passing for Kings Mountain, 1 interception, and that was huge. Philip Johnson returned at 73 yards for a score. We talked several times about penalties as well. 6 of those for 70 yards for Kings Mountain in the contest, and that was a big difference. William Kraft, a big night for the Wonders as well. throwing the ball 6 out of 10, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Don't forget Headliners live on Wednesday night. Special thanks to Matt Parr tonight for filling in and getting us all the numbers, and to Steve Gann and the rest of the Metro 12 production crew. We'll see you Wednesday night on Headliners, and then next week at Chapel Hill.